Welcome to Abundant Life. Today on the Homestead, Caleb is going to learn how to remove the bucket from the tractor. He had no idea he was going to have this many classes in one day, did you? I didn't know either, really. I'd only planned on doing the blade change, but and we did the driveway, and I was like, well, I got time to mow. I need to mow without the bucket. We're going to take the opportunity and teach you how to do the bucket. Now, the thing with this is, though, I'm going to show you how to take this bucket off with the tractor off, but instead of like we've done everything else where I make you do all the work, you're going to watch me do all the work, okay? You're going to walk around with the camera following me while I do the work. And the reason for that, I want you to see this several times before you do it, because I've seen one too many people take these off wrong, and while they're sitting there pulling these last pins, this thing comes up and smacks them right in the face. Okay, so you're going to learn how to do this one a few times before you ever actually do it, okay? They're not as easy as the quick detached buckets now, where you go up and you pull a lever and hit a hydraulic thing, and then you just back right out of your bucket. Okay, so this is my Kubota B7100 HST 4-wheel drive. It's got a Woods DuAl 145 bucket on it. We're going to show the method for taking this bucket off. I don't know if it applies to any other buckets at the time. I've never messed with one. I know the bracket looks a lot different than the Kubota bracket, so it probably comes off a completely different way than the Kubota bucket does. Okay, so what's going to happen, buddy? First thing we're going to do is we're going to raise the bucket. I'm going to pull this brace out here. Two ends of this brace. This one goes towards the bottom. This one up in the top. If you come up here, so there's a hitch pin down at the bottom of the bucket. There's a hitch pin on this brace, and you're standing right at the camera. Not that they can see, but still. So that bottom hitch pin I'm going to put through there. The top hitch pin I'm going to put through the second hole in here. Okay. What this does is our bucket stands on this when it doesn't have the tractor supporting it. Okay. Once I get that supported, over here. Once I get that supported, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to back this nut off on both sides. Once I got that nut backed out to the end, we're not going to take the nut off. We're just going to back it up, but leave it on that threaded bolt. Once I do that, I'm going to pull these pins off. Then I'll use the controls of the bucket to I'll unplug my off-road lights. There's enough there that I can get it apart without unplugging them, but I can't back away from it. So we'll make sure we do that pretty close to first. Then I'll use the controls to make this lift up and stand on its own off of the tractor. We'll back up a little bit, then we got to stop, unplug our hydraulic lines, fire it back up, and finish getting out from under it. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to put on a little tripod. You're going to follow me around. You're going to watch me. Like I said, you're going to have to see this several times before I let you do it. I want my hands on. I don't want to be sitting back watching you do the work. You're going to watch me do this one. And the only tool we need to do this is a 3/4 inch wrench, and that's for these nuts. Okay? And I keep a 3/4 inch wrench in the toolbox all the time. All right, you ready? Disconnect my off-road lights. Buddy, while you're filming, I do want you close enough that you can actually see what I'm doing. Not so much for the camera, but for you, so you can see what I'm doing. through that pin. Got my wrench. Okay, we're sitting at a different angle here. The second hole has it way too high. So I'm going to go for the third hole. All depends on the ground you're sitting on. Now I'm going to lower it down till that bracket touches. And then I'm going to tilt the bucket forward until the bucket touches. Now, 3/4 inch wrench. Remember, you don't take that nut off the shaft. You leave it there. You're just backing it up. Same thing on this side. Okay. Big old hairpin, holding this pin in. Pull that one out. I normally hang them up here on my tilt indicator. It's just a good place for them to be. Last pin, keep your head out of the way. But I've got it pretty well stabilized, so. Yeah. And now we're not on it. Nope. I'm going to blame the angle of the driveway for this one. I'm not comfortable for where that's going. Try that. There we go. Now it's just sliding right out. Bring it all the way up till it stops. Now we can start backing out, or we can shut it down right there. The hydraulic disconnects right here. Disconnect them. Run the tractor hoses together. Run the loader hoses together. Fire it back up and pull out. Yeah, I don't normally do this sitting on an inclined driveway. Wasn't too comfortable with where it first started going, but once I adjusted the bracket, it went pretty well. And that's the kind of things you got to pay attention to, buddy, if you ever end up pulling this off by yourself, which it's going to be a long time before I let you, but... Now putting it back on isn't too difficult. It may be a day or two before I put it back on. I make Mama mad because I just blocked her parking space, but that's alright. I'm always in trouble anyway. So, but I'll video when we put it back on. We'll just stitch the two videos together, because you do have to hook up your hydraulics a little sooner. This bar tends to bleed down. You got to get it lined up. Otherwise, it's mostly backwards, just reverse order of how you did it before. But okay, I'm done mowing. We're going to do one final job tonight, put this loader back on, put Mama's truck back in place before I get in trouble. Come around here, Gubby. Everything's reversed the way we took it off. First we got to refinagle the hydraulic lines. Tractor hook back up, and we'll fire it up. We gotta get this bar back in place in that front bumper first, which means I'll probably have to back up and forward a little bit till we get it just lined up. We'll go from there. Back in. Now this one tends to have some alignment issues getting the pins back in. Got it forward a little bit. After 42 years, things aren't exactly as straight as they used to be on it. That was a little easier than it usually is, though. I normally wait till it's up and back a little bit before I go tighten these nuts again. That just makes sure all the pressure's back and it's well seated down here. If you don't do that, if you tighten these nuts when your bucket's still on the ground, they'll work loose and these things will sit there and rattle as you're going anywhere. And it doesn't hurt anything if they come loose just a little bit, but it'll annoy the crap out of you. There you have it, easy stuff. But like I said, Caleb, if you ever got to do this, you better pay attention to what you're doing. Not quite so bad putting it on. I've never seen anybody hurt themselves putting them on, but I've seen plenty of them hurt themselves taking it off. So I'm going to get out of the driveway, put the truck back in. We're going to be done for the night, about supper time. So thank you for watching, and hope you learned something, or at least enjoy the video. From Abundant Life, hope you have a blessed night. Thank you again.